Hi guys, welcome back to next video. This is Pavankumar. So, last video we have seen a plain copied code from the Playwright Dev website that we open a browser and we close it. So that's what we have seen in the last video. In this video, we will see what anything means, what that last code means. Okay, so we'll start from a scratch file. So let's say now there is nothing. Okay, in this one we will start coding and I'll explain one by one. Okay, so first there are two things when we are dealing with a playwright. One is with a sync and other one is async. Okay, sync means like, let's say for example you have 10 lines of code. Okay, so each line will work one by one. Okay, that is what async means. If you have a function, 10 lines will execute one by one, which means that first line 1 completes and then second line and then third line, then fourth line. But when it comes to async, okay, so the async method will not wait for the previous command to end. Okay, so this will be useful in few places and this will be disadvantageous in few places. Like for example, let's say you want to execute line by line, then sync will be better. But if you want to run it, whenever the first command finishes, any other thing, if it can picks up, it will pick up. Okay, for example, let's say you have a 10 lines of code in async and there is one method for a printing a statement. Okay, that is in the 10th line. What happens as the first line of the execution, or what you will get in the console, the 10th line, because the print has very loose, what you call it, it's not dependent on anything. Okay, so it will just print it and then it will start proceeding. So whatever is the lightweight, it will start executing. To avoid that one, normally they will use await and async. Okay, in the method name they will give async and in each line they will give await. But somehow I really don't like for the test automation using async. So throughout the course we will be proceeding with the sync. Okay, so we will be using a sync Playwright. So first we need to import the thing. Okay, so how do you import anything? Okay, if you ask me, I don't. Okay, I never try to import anything on my own. That is one important lesson that I have learned, that don't try to import anything. Okay, whatever you want to have, when you are using an IDE, try to type that thing. Okay, and let the IDE import it, or let the IDE showcase the suggestions. Based on that one, you import it. Okay, that's what I always prefer, because when you type, when you basically import it, there is a very thing that happens is you will make some spelling errors. Okay, or lowercase, uppercase. Okay, so you cannot keep every single class and import statements in mind. That thing you need to remember. Okay, you cannot keep it. So even if you can keep it, sometimes the case of that particular import statements, okay, that may ruin your day, because it's very hard in such cases. Okay, so what I normally do is, whatever I want to know, okay, let's say for example I know sync Playwright is the one that I am going to use. So what I'll do is I'll type that one. Okay, so sync, and then what I'll do is I'll use a control space. Okay, in case if you are on a Mac or any OS, Mac, Windows or anything, use a control space. Most of the time control space will not bring you anything. Okay, so this happens sometimes, not most of the time, but sometimes. So what you have to do is hold the control and press space once and one more time. So 2 spaces you need to press. Okay, control space, holding the control, again press the space, you will start getting the suggestions. So here what I want is sync Playwright. See, now the import statement automatically came in. Okay, because I already know. Let's try it again. Try and see. I already know it's a sync Playwright, but I don't know where this has to be coming from. But I know idea that it is from the sync but not from the async. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is with sync Playwright, I'm keeping this as Playwright, not sync Playwright, just a Playwright, or a P for that matter. In this one I'm going to open the browser. So Playwright dot, which one you want to start, that is very important. I want to start the Chromium. In this one I want to launch, and I want to set the headless to false. So now what we are doing is, inside this particular block we are going to write our thing. So sync Playwright we have already took it and store it in Playwright. So you can store it in just a P. It's just a P. You can store it in any format you want to store. Now P dot Chromium dot launch. Chromium means a browser. Instead of a Chromium I can go with Firefox. See here the suggestions came in. I don't want to say Firefox, I want a WebKit. WebKit is nothing but your Safari. Now you may ask a question, where is the edge? There is no edge. The Chromium is the edge. So how do we launch a specific browser? That we will see in the later sessions, like how do you launch exactly an edge that is installed in your system, or Chrome installed in your system, or Firefox. So that we will learn a little bit later, but now understand these are the inbuilt browsers. The Chromium is for Chrome and Edge, Firefox is Firefox, WebKit is for Safari. Currently I am in a Mac and I am getting all these browsers. If you are in Windows, still you will get all these particular browsers. So if you are using a Windows, you don't have to hesitate like, will I get Safari browser or not? Definitely you will get it, because these are inbuilt with the Playwright. Now again coming back, so here we have done it, right? Now let's store it. We call this as now browser got browser. We have mentioned which browser we want to open. Now we have opened the browser, but nothing else we did. On the browser, again we have to create a page. What is page? For example, let me take right here, I'm going to take one new window. So you may see this as the browser, but this is the page or a tab, what you call it. Here what you see is, this is the browser. Browser is a place. In that one we will be using this particular tabs. You might have heard about Excel is a package, but sheets are the actual the worksheets, the place where you work. See, for example, this is the tab, right? If I close the tab, could you see the browser? No, it's gone, right? Similar way, without a tab, or without that page, you don't see the browser. If I run till here, you will not see the browser. For example, let me run this thing. So here I have given headless false, which means that I want to see the browser. Basically the browser should have the UI. Let me run it. Run. Did you see anywhere the browser? No, right? So this is the thing. So browser is something like a place. In that one you will create multiple tabs to work. So to see that tab, we have to open the new page. Some people call it as a new page, some people call it as a new tab, but basically this is the thing. It's when you are doing manually, normally so far you might have have an idea like it's a tab. Now keep it as a page. Page is something that universally used with the Playwright. Page is nothing but your tab. T-A-B, tab. Sorry. So now page, I'm going to use browser dot a new page. So I'm going to open a new page. Now let's run it and see. Basically I'm opening a new tab here. See, you can see the browser opening and closing immediately again. So now I have opened the page. what do I do with the page? I can go forward. Okay, page dot go to. Okay, where do we want to go? Any idea? No, we'll go to Google. No, Bing will go. HTTPS. Okay, HTTPS bing.com. Okay, now right click and run. I should go to the Bing page. It has gone, but you cannot see it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a sleep. Okay, as I was telling, you should not be writing the import statements. You just need to know the function or class name, and based on that one you give a control space. And one more thing I would definitely suggest, don't write complete thing. For example, sleep is the method or function name. I shouldn't be writing completely sleep, because if you write it completely, if there is a case mismatch, then it won't suggest. So write 2 to 3 letters and then give a control spaces. Now you will see this thing. Okay, give a control space 1 2 3 few times. Okay, if there is a suggestion, it will come out. So I'm going to use a sleep, which is from time. Okay, but you should have a knowledge, this is how it will look like. The sleep is from the time model. Okay, that idea you should have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2 seconds, and using a sleep is bad practice by the way. Okay, I'm a bad coder. Maybe I should have changed the name as bad coder rather than tester coder. Okay, now you have seen the tab opening and it gets closed. So see here, I have nowhere I have set to close it. Okay, so the moment the function is over, it will close it automatically. Okay, this is a built-in function in Playwright. Okay, so this is good. Any doubts? Yeah, it's a recorded session, right? You cannot ask doubts. So anyways, I will proceed a little more further. Okay, now we have opened the page and you can do it. Okay, so is there any other way that I can do it? See, for example, let's before that let's understand an example. Okay, so now you are creating a framework. Okay, consider this one. This is not framework creation, but basic thing. Okay, now you want to have a method where it will open a browser and it will return to you, and you can work based on that returned page. Okay, so how will you write in a function? Def, let's say open underscore page. Okay, so this is what the function. Here the purpose is open browser. Sorry, I'm installing. It's been some time I used Java, but still I'm getting sometimes the same thing. Okay, open browser, open page, and what do you call it? Return page. Okay, so this is a function. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to get something like page equal to open page, because this will return the page, so I will have the page here as well. Okay, now what I want to do is page dot go to the same thing. I'll go to the same website. Okay, I want to go there. Bing is fun, so we'll go there. Okay, so this is what my idea is, and then maybe sleep 2 seconds. Okay, the same thing whatever we have written prior to that one, I want to modularize. Okay, so instead of opening everything here, I want to create a function where I want to open it. So here already we have the code. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it and paste it. Any doubts so far? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, oh man, this sucks. Give me a second. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is return page. Okay, now I hope you guys can understand. So I opened the browser and I opened the tab. Okay, this thing we don't need. Okay, now I am returning the page. Now when we call it here, what it happens is that this one will receive this page. Just to avoid confusion, I have created the page here as well, or you can write it as tab also, it doesn't matter, okay, because it is just a variable. Normally we use a page for just uniformity purpose, but you can write it any way you want. Okay, where is still showing the warning? Okay, anyways, so now we have this thing. Now let's run this thing. So my idea is open the browser first. The call will go into this open page. For example, let me click it. See, here it goes, and it comes into this thing. It opens the browser, opens the tab, and returns the page. Okay, returns the tab or page. Now right click and run. Let's see what happens. Seems like it says like the thing is already closed, the browser is already closed. What happened? We are nowhere closing it, right? But which line it is giving error? If you see this is the line that gives the error. Okay, why is it so? Any idea? No? Okay, it's all right, I'll answer it. Okay, see, when you are using this with sync playwright as P, okay, what happens is that the moment this block is over, basically here the page will be destroyed. Okay, here itself the page will be closed. Okay, I know you guys won't believe me, but let's add a debugger here, or here for that matter. Okay, let it work and we'll see. Here itself will add. Now I'm going to debug it. I know you guys don't believe anything. This is bad. Okay, now browser opened and it is closed as well. Okay, now we have to go here. Okay, let's see. Go to evaluate and evaluate. I hope you know this, what is this evaluate means, or we'll see it in the next class. How do we do this evaluate? Okay, so now we have this thing, tab.goto.bin. See, event loop is already closed. Is playwright already stopped? I wonder. I don't know. So is it closed or not? It is closed. How do we verify it? You can make tab.is closed. Okay, see, here I have continuously typed, still it gives you the suggestions. So I'm going to pick it up. Okay, I'm going to see. Is closed, false. Too bad. Okay, but it is closed. Okay, you cannot proceed further. Okay, so even though it says otherwise, but it is, the page is, tab is closed. Okay, now so how do we avoid it? Okay, how do we make this to be alive even after this block? Okay, so that is one big question and big headache as well. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to modify this code. Okay, let me remove this thing. Okay, and bring it into line. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is I'm going to write let me put it into sentence. Okay, I'm going to write equal to playwright dot, sorry, not playwright, sync playwright dot start. Okay, I'm going to use this way. Now I'm going to store it in a P. Here this one you can be anything. So basically we are initiating. Why? Because if you see in last one we have initiated, even though whether we noticed or not, if you see here itself we have initiated it. Okay, that was the reason we were not able to do it. Okay, now I'm going back. So I'm going to use this thing, start. Okay, now let's run and see whether it works or not. Okay, before that, stop the debugging, right click and debug main. Now it has come here. I'm going to the next. Now you see the browser is still open. Okay, now if we execute it, what happens? you will see the wonder. This is the browser, see it opened. Okay, here we are getting all the stuff. If you want to get the title, you can get the title, or anything if you want to do, you can do it. Okay, so this is how you can make sure the page propagates even after the block ends. Okay, nice. So there are people who might be having a confusion in case if you are starting very new. Okay, why I am giving equal sign in the parameters? Okay, why, what is this written means? Okay, even some people have, what, why are we writing like this, why are we not using curly braces? Okay, these questions you guys might have, only few of you people, in case if you are new to programming language. Okay, so what we are going to do is, every now and then I'm going to create some Python concepts videos as well, so that you can be learning as a whole thing. Okay, so now this thing works fine. If I run it, it will run smoothly. It will open and it will, after 2 seconds it will close. Okay, so this is all with the browser opening and the basic code. Okay, now the question you might have asked, okay, which method we should be using, the previous one or this one? I'm asking about this thing, previous block one or this one, which one we should be using in our frameworks? You might be having this question. The answer is none of this. We will not be using both of them. Okay, you will be using something called fixtures, that we will discuss at later point of time, but as of now consider this as the thing for next 2 to 3 lectures. After that we will change it. Okay, so that's all with this video. Thank you guys, bye.